Hey, what's up, guys? It's the special edition of the Statisfaction report for D1. We got our Week 6 recap. We got 40-yard dash.
Predictions, not recap.
Did I say recap?
You said predictions.
Recap.
You said
Yeah, it's predictions.
Whatever. We're off to
Preview.
We're off to a swimming start. So, yeah, we'll go through all the matchups. Go ahead, Mike.
I think we're going to start with the Kia Sorrento matchup of the week, between no other than the Masonites, Mr. Doug, against Yvonne Honey Badger. And as you may have guessed, Yvonne is typically the worst team in this league by far. He's not even going to watch us. I don't care. We were all chatting before. Doug will probably score the second least points in this league, and it will still be enough to win. Due in part because Ivan is not even going to start a tight end this week. Kelsey, in case he did not know, is on a bye. And on top of that, he has yet to carry a backup on his team. The advantages that he does have are a couple. No, he doesn't have any advantages, actually, whatsoever. On the good portion for Doug, though, he has Roethlisberger against Cleveland. I think he's going to have a very solid game. He usually does against them. Wayne looking to light Houston up with a lot of PPR receptions. Nelson, Jordy, maybe an MVP so far.
Hey.
MVP candidate going against Miami. Miami does have a solid defense. At the same time, Packers are looking very solid overall this year. Like him to have a big game. And how do you pronounce that guy's name in Baltimore? Teleforo?
I don't even know.
Teleforio?
Sure.
Teleforio.
Teleforio. I do think Doug needs to go... Teleforio. I do think Doug, if he wants to make a little run, needs to get a little deeper. That's what she said. And make something happen because he does have an easy win this week. He's going to go to 2-4. Maybe he can make a little run. Who knows? But I'm going to take Doug in a pretty big landslide.
I also have Doug.
Doug.
All right.
Masonites.
Next up, we got Pulsating Rhino Nuts versus Cecil Sea Shorts. Winless Cecil Sea Shorts. I'm going to keep throwing that in there. I like nuts here. I love nuts.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. Other than DeMarco, Cecil Sea Shorts does have very easy matchups. He's got Matt Ryan going against the Bears, Victor Cruz going against the Eagles, and then the other defenses include the Buccaneers. Buccaneers suck this year.
Buccaneers are so.
Washington, Oakland, Atlanta, and Carolina, all subpar defenses. But Nuts had the advantage at every single position. I see Cecil Sea Shorts remaining winless.
I'm going to disagree.
Ooh.
I'm going to go upset of the week here.
Upset of the week?
Upset of the week, maybe because Brian's in our division.
I would like to see Chris win.
But Chris has had horrible luck. He put up a horrible week last week against me. We'll call it the curse of Mike. But I think he comes back this week. I think he's going to score 137 points. Brian's going to pull through with 131. Chris with a victory. Due in part to Martellus Bennett having a big bounce back week.
All right.
I've already mentioned this once. Chris just isn't a winner.
Oh boy.
Going to Brian.
All right.
Nuts.
Nuts.
All right. We are discussing Jack's Hurricanes, the top dog against Borkum Ballbuster, the first person to sell their team.
Lock of the week.
Yeah,
Lock of the week.
Lock of the week, for sure. I mean, Eric is playing without Jamal Charles. It looks like his team can deal without him. I mean, he's inserting Lamar Miller.
Insert.
Yeah. And
Inserting
I think
deep into
he
my
might do well against Green Bay in the first half, but they'll go to passing in the second half. But he can confidently play Lamar Miller this week. Matt is playing without Drew Brees, but let's be honest, he didn't stand a chance anyway. Let's look who else we got a Jenkins sighting, Safarian Jenkins.
Whoa!
Oh, he's back. Now, is he even playing this week? I think he's still hurt.
But he's playing in his flex, I remind you.
Oh.
He's also got Jared Cook. He can catch a few passes.
He has a lot of tight ends. Maybe you can put Eifert in.
Asiata running against Detroit, but top to bottom, he just doesn't stand a chance. Eric's got him in quarterbacks, wide receivers,
Lock of the week.
running backs, tight ends. Bork, your only hope is kicker.
Hey,
I did have a kicker put up 0.
24 points. A lot of kickers put up 24 last week, I feel like. Yeah, I will also take Eric and a squeaker. All right, and our next game. Sorry, my phone just went bad.
You've got the Vagisil rivalry matchup of the week.
Is that me?
Oh,
I'm not the Vagisil.
I'm sorry.
I'm the Vagisil.
Yes. FIBO versus organized.
The FIBO versus. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to take Jason in this game, but then I looked at his lineup, And I noticed that he's starting 2 tight ends, not named Jordan Cameron.
Wow.
Or Jordan Cameron, is he now behind Dwayne Allen and Delaney Walker?
He's been pretty terrible.
Dwayne Allen has scored every time he's been on the bench for Jason, so he's hoping to catch him on his off week, or vice versa.
Cameron's been terrible.
Do you start Eddie Royal over Cameron?
Yes.
Wow. Look what Jordan Cameron's done. Anyways,
Curse of the league.
You just heard 3 of Jason's starters, and I can't confidently ever pick anybody who's starting those 3 people. He does have some bye weeks hurting him this week and injuries with Calvin Johnson not likely to play, Pierre Thomas on a bye. You insert those 2 instead of maybe Allen and Royal, we have this closer game. So Organized Chaos is still going to be getting lucky week over week over week over week. He does have a few very nice matchups. Again, Steven Jackson scored last week at a big week going against Chicago. Horrible defense. Deshaun Jackson.
For a repeat with Steven?
I think he's going to score again.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, everybody scores on the Bears. Deshaun Jackson decided to play like himself as of a la 2-3 years ago. Going against Arizona, Peterson hurt ankle now this week. So a little bit of flexibility in that secondary. And Cam Newton went back to his Pro Bowl / college days last week, and I like him against Cincinnati. Yep. So I'm going to take Organized for the win.
He's looked good. I agree with everything that you just said. Mm-hmm. I'm taking the Fear Boners.
I want to take the Fear Boners. I can't do it, though.
Justin's look has to run out.
It will next week.
He scored a ton this past week. I got the Fear Boners because they need it more. They're 1-4. If I mentioned in the recap that we've got the contenders and we got the bottom feeders. Right now, Fear Boners are our bottom feeder. Boom. If he wants to make a run, it has to happen this week. You need to overcome Justin's luck.
Organized Chaos.
All right.
Victory.
For the win.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm next.
Yeah, you're next. You got the Vag-Cell rivalry match.
Ooh, Vag-Cell.
Rivalry. We got co-workers playing against each other. Mike Bear Down against Jazzy J, Wrights Rampage.
Jazzy J.
Hey, missed you at basketball again.
Yeah.
Hey, fat ass.
How many chins are there?
At least 3.
Wrightsma is playing without Cooks and Jimmy Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Graham might have been hurt anyway, so maybe this is good news for the longevity of for Wrights Rampage. A little blessing in disguise with a well-timed bye week. I mean, looking at the beginning of the season, I never thought Jason would be 3-2, facing 3-3 coming week 6. I think it's going to happen. I think Mike's going to get the victory. I think it's going to come down to a huge game from Le'Veon Bell and newly acquired Marshawn Lynch.
Yes, against
Terrible
Dallas.
trade.
Against Dallas.
Terrible trade.
Terrible trade.
So, yeah, bear down, close victory within 7 points.
Just like with the Nuts, I hope Dash loses, but I don't see Dash losing. I see Wrightsma, the preseason #1 team, falling to 3-3.
Well, I'm obviously going to pick myself, but here's actually the reason why. Look at these defenses I'm playing. Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, Philly, Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's all I need to say.
Yeah. And and Wrightsma's hurt significantly by bye weeks this week. Not just Graham, a couple other guys.
Just Cooks. It's just Graham and Cooks.
Graham and Cooks? Well, those are 2 of those guys. And
Let's talk about Wrightsma's inability to win non-conference.
Yeah.
He's got the easiest division.
He does.
And he just can't
hang with the big boys.
The big boys.
No, he cannot.
Hasn't even played me yet. Has he played you yet, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost.
I beat him last week. All right. In the Impact matchup of the week, the big matchup, we do have Jaquiz, undefeated Jaquiz, going up against the Fist Pumpers. Yes, unbelievable. The 4-1 Fist Pumpers. So combined 9-1 record, and that's why they are the matchup of the week. And because they're the matchup of the week, let's dive down into the matchups. For quarterback, huge advantage to Jaquiz my pants. Peyton coming off a 400-yard, 4-touchdown performance, and he gets to play against the Jets. Jets are not that good. So maybe they're done throwing. After,
I see Oswald.
No, Denver just runs it up on people.
Yeah,
though.
and
They don't care.
When you can, you might as well. They're back in video game mode. I think
They have no running game now.
They had no running game without Monte Ball. I see a huge game out of Peyton. And Foles has been struggling for the past couple weeks, so I've got a huge advantage for Jaquiz. Running back.
Yeah, but let's talk about the Giants' defense, though.
Giants are bad, man. They're both bad.
Yeah.
But Denver has just been running it up on people. Like, they're making statements right now in my mind.
Yep. And with a no running game.
With ball hurt, too. I get a big advantage to Manning in that one, too.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
For running backs, I also personally give a huge advantage to Jaquiz My Pants. Ronnie Hillman, I think that's who you're going to insert instead of Monte Ball. Not as good of a player as Monte Ball.
Insert.
Yep. Vereen has just not come to play this year.
He ran well last week.
He had 13 points.
He ran well, though.
That's what you're resting
without
okay.
catching.
All right. So
He has Sean Green available.
yeah, or you can insert Sean Green. On the flip side, Jaquiz running out Giovanni Bernard, who's arguably a top 5 back. A lot of
Especially though AJ.
the staples are
Top 8.
Okay, top 8. There's a lot of the staples. McCoy, Lacey did bounce back last week. Peterson is not up there. So Bell is probably up there.
Le'Veon.
DeMarco,
Yep.
Forte and Charles are probably still up there. But okay,
Lynch.
fine. Top 8. Oh, Lynch too.
I'll take it.
Fine. Top 8. Top 8.
Top 8.
All right.
That's all.
Bell, did you say Bell?
Yep.
Yes, I did say Bell. And Forsett has been a beast. He's been able to do what Bernard Pierce has been unable to do.
22 points last week for Forsett.
Yep. So
Joke.
so between Bernard and Forsett, I've got big advantage for Jaquiz My Pants.
I'm all right with that.
You're all right with that?
Yeah, and I can't argue that either. I think Andy will be hurt by Monty Ball not being there.
Yep.
And both sides of the game. Because Manning's going to throw more. They're not going to run as much. Hellman will get some catches, I think. I think he'll.
Very rarely do I pick up handcuffs on my own running backs, and this situation I did.
Worked out for you.
I think he goes up double digits, but not enough.
All right. For wide receiver, what's a word that describes super huge? Enormous, gigantic, ginormous. That's the fist pumper's advantage at wide receiver.
FP.
Other than maybe Garcon, I'm taking what was all 5 of Andy's wide receivers. Now it's down to 4. AJ Green carted off the field today. To you and D1. To you and D2.
Oh, and Rob just happens to have Sanu.
Oh, does he?
What?
Whoop-de-doo. But even with Green out, I've got pumpers. Huge advantage on wide receiver.
Yeah, it's really not close in my mind either. And with the PPR league, that starts to even out the game a little bit more in my mind too.
Okay. Tight end.
You gonna ask my opinion?
What's your opinion?
Yeah, no one can touch my wide receivers.
Okay, don't continue. I actually looked at it today.
MCM.
You have the best wide receiver 1. You're the best wide receiver 2. Your wide receiver 3 is better than everyone's wide receiver 2s. Your wide receiver 4 and wide receiver 5 are better than everyone's wide receiver 3s. So you got that going for you.
You should see what's going down here.
All right, for tight ends, I got a wash.
No, gracias.
Donnell and Ertz both sucks.
They are
both
horrible.
Suck. Combined 6 points between the two of them last week.
Yeah, all 6 of the points went to Ertz.
Yeah, Donnell 0 points last week. Anything to add there? Yeah.
Nothing exciting
Yeah,
there.
there's nothing exciting.
Does he put in Jordan Reed even? Why wouldn't he?
So Reed is going to play, so maybe that's an advantage for
That's horrible.
Jaquiz.
Let's talk about kickers. Prater.
No, we're not
Boom.
talking about kickers. All right, so
Actually, that could be big. That could be big.
I'm not talking about kickers.
It's Minnesota.
We don't talk about kickers on the Statisfaction report. All right, so the verdict, we've got Andy's wide receivers versus Rob's quarterbacks and running backs without tight ends. Maybe Rob wants me to pick against him. He's done pretty well with me picking against him. I don't know. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Andy in a slight upset, I think.
All right.
It's no upset.
It
I'm
is.
winning.
He scored more points than you for the year. It is a slight upset.
I'm taking myself for obvious reasons.
All right. I am actually going to take Rob. I don't know why. So maybe this will work against you. Yeah. So to quickly recap, I have Masonites.
Hey, I'm just gonna let me say this.
We got to keep it under 15 minutes.
Okay, Sunday night. All Rob's players are done at 1:00 except for Pierre Garcon. Sunday night, Andy is rolling out Nick Foles,
And Donnell.
Ertz, and Jeremy Maclin.
Okay.
So game to watch.
All right.
Big night Sunday night.
All right. Let's quickly go through them. I got Masonites.
I don't remember. Masonites.
They already watched the video. I forget who I picked.
Fine. I've got Masonites.
Yep.
I have
20 seconds
the
left.
Nuts. I have myself. I have Phoebo. I have Dash. And I have Jaquiz.
I have the same size I have Chaos in C shorts.
Anything to add?
I have me.
Numbers.
Game of the week.
Game of the week. All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Ow!